This is another video talking about working on a theme in higher logic. And one thing that we want to avoid in higher logic, let's check out our nav bar here. So sometimes we'll add something to the theme and it'll turn into a regression issue. Maybe we fixed something or we were styling one thing, and accidentally we realize maybe down the road, a few days later, oops, we something's broken now. Something we did through our theme with CSS, and then other times, a little more rare. Sometimes we'll have something in our theme and then maybe the next, or all of a sudden we wake up one day, something's broken. There was a thread on the Hug site about, hey, why'd you break my homepage? It was fine yesterday. We haven't even touched it. And one thing to understand about how higher logic works, they are always improving their code base. So it's helpful to keep in mind they're constantly making changes, and so sometimes they've added something and they rolled it out in their code base, but eventually they need to come back in and fix it. And I see a lot of examples, especially how they're using Bootstrap. But just one thing real quick, let's look at our navbar. So we have a bunch of classes here: navbar collapse, navbar ex1 collapse. Now I used to write or I used to build websites using Bootstrap from scratch. So I actually recognize this class from the Bootstrap 3 documentation, and they actually recommend you do not use that navbar ex1. It sounds like a nice fancy piece of code, nice fancy navbar. It actually stands for example 1. So this was in their documentation. So eventually this class will probably go away, but here's kind of the danger that we need to look out for. Let's say I did use navbar ex1, and let's just assume this is my theme file, and I said background orange. I've got a nice looking orange navbar now. And that's fine. It'll be fine today. But if higher logic realizes, ooh, maybe we should clean this up. Navbar ex1, that came from the documentation example 1. Maybe we shouldn't put that in production code. So boom, let's delete it. Great. Now what happened? My orange nav bar is gone. So in case you're styling your nav bar, I would stay away from ex1, everything else. I mean, there's plenty of other divs here, probably a little maybe too many divs, but that is something to watch out for.